Have you ever wondered about the silent threats lurking in your body, quietly setting the stage for serious health crises like heart attacks and strokes, without you even noticing? Meet triglycerides, the hidden villain in your health story, a type of fat in your blood that can wreak havoc when uncontrolled, yet shows no obvious symptoms. In this video, Dr. Ramirez, your health coach, unveils the mystery of triglycerides, revealing why they're dangerous, the everyday habits that fuel their rise, and a groundbreaking nutritional discovery that could be your natural defense against this silent enemy. You need to watch until the end because we'll share simple, science-backed strategies, including a powerful dietary weapon, resistant starch, that can slash your triglyceride levels by up to 40%, helping you keep your arteries clear, avoid the deadly triad of high blood pressure, cholesterol, and blood sugar, and live a healthier, longer life. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video, you can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. What are triglycerides and why do they matter? Triglycerides are the most common form of fat in the human body, chemically composed of one glycerol molecule bonded to 3 fatty acid chains. When we consume food, particularly meals rich in calories from carbohydrates, fats, or proteins, our body prioritizes immediate energy needs. Any surplus energy, calories that aren't burned right away, is cleverly transformed by the liver into triglycerides. These are then packaged into lipoproteins, primarily very low-density lipoproteins, VLDL, and transported through the bloodstream to be stored in adipose tissue, fat cells, for later use. Picture your body as a highly organized warehouse, with triglycerides acting as neatly stacked energy reserves, like cans of fuel stored on shelves. When you engage in physical activity, fast overnight, or skip a meal, your body taps into these reserves. Hormones like glucagon and epinephrine signal fat cells to break down triglycerides into glycerol and free fatty acids, which are released into the bloodstream to provide energy for muscles, organs, and other tissues. This process, known as lipolysis, ensures that your body has a steady supply of fuel during times of need, such as during exercise or periods of low food intake. In this sense, triglycerides are not just friends, they're lifesavers. They're a product of evolutionary brilliance, enabling humans to survive periods of scarcity by storing energy efficiently. Without this mechanism, our ancestors would not have endured long winters or famines, and we wouldn't be here today. However, as with many biological systems, balance is key. A well-stocked energy warehouse is a treasure, but an overstuffed one becomes a liability, leading to chaos in the body's delicate metabolic ecosystem. The dark side of excess triglycerides. When triglyceride levels in the blood become elevated, a condition known as hypertriglyceridemia, the consequences can be dire. Imagine your bloodstream as a pristine, flowing river, with blood vessels as its smooth, unobstructed banks. Healthy levels of triglycerides allow this river to flow freely, delivering oxygen and nutrients to every part of the body. But when triglycerides accumulate in excess, it's as if heavy industrial sludge is dumped into the river. The water becomes turbid, the flow slows, and debris begins to cling to the riverbanks, narrowing the channel and disrupting the ecosystem. This sludge in the bloodstream contributes to the formation of atherosclerotic plaques, which are fatty deposits that build up on the inner walls of arteries. Over time, these plaques cause the arterial walls to thicken and harden, a condition known as atherosclerosis. The once flexible arteries become rigid, and the narrowed passages restrict blood flow, increasing the risk of catastrophic events like heart attacks and strokes. Studies, such as those published in the New England Journal of Medicine and the Journal of the American College of Cardiology, have consistently shown that elevated triglyceride levels are an independent risk factor for coronary artery disease, with risks multiplying as levels climb. At extremely high levels, above 500 milligrams per deciliter, triglycerides pose an even more immediate threat: acute pancreatitis. This is a life-threatening inflammation of the pancreas, often requiring emergency hospitalization. The pancreas, overwhelmed by the flood of fats in the blood, becomes inflamed, leading to severe abdominal pain, nausea, and, in severe cases, organ failure. Mortality rates for acute pancreatitis can range from 5% to 30%, depending on severity, making it a medical emergency no one wants to face. For healthy adults, triglyceride levels should ideally remain below 150 milligrams per deciliter, as recommended by the American Heart Association. Levels between 150 and 199 milligrams per deciliter are considered borderline high, while 200 to 499 mg/dl indicates hypertriglyceridemia. Anything above 500 milligrams per deciliter enters the red zone, where the risks of pancreatitis and cardiovascular complications skyrocket. But triglycerides rarely act alone. They often coexist with other metabolic imbalances, such as elevated low-density lipoprotein, LDL, or bad cholesterol, reduced high-density lipoprotein, HDL, or good cholesterol, high blood pressure, and elevated blood sugar. Together, these form the metabolic syndrome, a dangerous cluster of conditions that amplifies the risk of heart disease, stroke, kidney damage, and even cognitive decline, including an increased likelihood of Alzheimer's disease. A case study: Mrs. Johnson's wake-up call. To illustrate the real-world impact of triglycerides, let's revisit the story of Mrs. Johnson, a 50-year-old office manager whose experience underscores how easily this issue can sneak up on even the most health-conscious individuals. Mrs. Johnson prided herself on her disciplined lifestyle. She avoided fatty meats, shunned fried foods, and considered her diet healthy. Yet, she had a weakness for sweets. Her desk was a treasure trove of cookies, pastries, and sugary snacks, and her afternoons were fueled by a ritualistic cup of instant sweetened coffee. She saw these treats as small rewards for her hard work, unaware that they were silently sabotaging her health. During a routine physical examination, her lab results revealed a shocking truth. Her triglyceride levels had soared to 450 milligrams per deciliter, 3 times the upper limit of normal. Stunned, she protested to her physician, Dr. Ramirez, "I don't eat fatty foods at all." Like many, she had fallen victim to a common misconception that only greasy, high-fat foods drive up triglycerides. Dr. Ramirez explained that her beloved sweets and refined carbohydrates were the true culprits. The excess sugars in her diet were being converted into triglycerides in her liver, flooding her bloodstream with these dangerous fats. Determined to reclaim her health, Mrs. Johnson embarked on a transformative journey. She eliminated desserts, sugary coffee, and refined carbohydrates like white bread and replaced them with whole grains, such as oatmeal and whole wheat bread, and nutrient-dense snacks like nuts and sugar-free soda crackers. She also incorporated a 30-minute brisk walk during her lunch break, a habit that not only helped lower her triglycerides but also boosted her energy and mental clarity. 3 months later, her follow-up blood test showed a remarkable turnaround. Her triglycerides had plummeted to 120 milligrams per deciliter, well within the healthy range. Beyond the numbers, Mrs. Johnson reported feeling more vibrant, with no more afternoon slumps and improved productivity at work. Her story is a testament to the power of informed lifestyle changes and the profound impact they can have on health. The culprits behind high triglycerides. The misconception that only overweight individuals or those who consume greasy foods are at risk for high triglycerides is widespread but dangerously misleading. Slim individuals, like Mrs. Johnson, can also face this issue, as triglycerides are influenced by a complex interplay of dietary, lifestyle, and genetic factors. Let's explore the primary culprits in greater depth. Excessive sugar and refined carbohydrates. The biggest driver of elevated triglycerides is not dietary fat but sugar and refined carbohydrates. Foods like white rice, white bread, pasta, sugary drinks, and desserts are rapidly broken down into glucose in the body. When glucose levels exceed immediate energy needs, the liver converts the excess into triglycerides through a process called de novo lipogenesis. High fructose corn syrup, a sweetener ubiquitous in sodas, processed snacks, and even seemingly healthy foods like yogurt, is particularly problematic. Fructose is metabolized almost exclusively by the liver, where it's readily converted into triglycerides, significantly elevating blood levels. A 2010 study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that high fructose intake was strongly associated with increased triglyceride levels and metabolic syndrome. Unhealthy fats. While sugars are the primary culprit, certain dietary fats can also contribute to elevated triglycerides. Diets high in saturated fats, found in red meat, butter, and full-fat dairy, and trans fats, found in some processed foods and fried items, can overburden the liver, prompting it to produce more triglycerides and LDL cholesterol. These fats disrupt the balance of blood lipids, reducing HDL cholesterol and increasing the risk of atherosclerosis. The dietary guidelines for Americans recommend limiting saturated fats to less than 10% of daily calories and avoiding trans fats entirely to maintain healthy triglyceride levels. Excessive alcohol consumption. Alcohol is a major trigger for elevated triglycerides, particularly in individuals who drink regularly or heavily. When you consume alcohol, the liver prioritizes its metabolism, as alcohol is a toxin that the body seeks to eliminate quickly. This process, however, disrupts normal fat metabolism, causing the liver to produce more triglycerides. Alcohol is also calorie-dense, with sugary cocktails and beers adding a double whammy of empty calories and sugar that further drive triglyceride synthesis. A 2014 study in Circulation highlighted that even moderate alcohol consumption could significantly raise triglyceride levels in susceptible individuals. Sedentary lifestyle. Physical inactivity is another key contributor. Regular exercise helps the body burn triglycerides for energy and boosts HDL cholesterol, which helps clear excess fats from the bloodstream. A sedentary lifestyle, on the other hand, allows triglycerides to accumulate, exacerbating metabolic imbalances. Research from the Journal of Lipid Research shows that even moderate physical activity, like brisk walking for 30 minutes most days, can significantly lower triglyceride levels. Genetic and medical factors. While lifestyle plays a major role, genetics can also predispose individuals to high triglycerides. Conditions like familial hypertriglyceridemia or underlying medical issues such as diabetes, hypothyroidism, or kidney disease can elevate levels. Certain medications, including corticosteroids, beta blockers, and some antipsychotics, may also increase triglycerides as a side effect. For these individuals, medical management alongside lifestyle changes is often necessary. Taking control. Prevention and management. The good news is that high triglycerides are often manageable through lifestyle modifications, as Mrs. Johnson's story illustrates. Here are evidence-based strategies to keep triglycerides in check. Adopt a heart-healthy diet. Prioritize whole foods like vegetables, fruits, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats, e.g., avocados, nuts, and fatty fish rich in omega-3s. Limit sugars, refined carbohydrates, and unhealthy fats. The Mediterranean diet, backed by decades of research, is particularly effective for lowering triglycerides and improving overall cardiovascular health. Exercise regularly. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity per week, such as brisk walking, cycling, or swimming. Exercise enhances triglyceride metabolism and boosts HDL cholesterol, creating a virtuous cycle for heart health. Limit alcohol. If you drink, do so in moderation. Ideally no more than 1 drink per day for women and 2 for men, as per CDC guidelines. For those with high triglycerides, abstaining entirely may be necessary. Monitor and manage weight. Even modest weight loss, 5 to 10% of body weight, can significantly lower triglycerides in overweight individuals, according to the National Heart, Lung, and Blood Institute. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. The culprits behind high triglycerides and the power of resistant starch. High triglyceride levels are a growing concern in modern health, contributing to cardiovascular diseases and metabolic disorders. Understanding the root causes of elevated triglycerides and how to combat them effectively is essential for long-term wellness. Below, we explore the primary culprits behind soaring triglyceride levels and unveil a scientifically backed, natural solution, resistant starch, that can significantly lower these levels through simple dietary changes. Culprit 1. Sedentary lifestyle and lack of exercise. One of the leading contributors to high triglycerides is a lack of physical activity, a hallmark of modern sedentary lifestyles. In today's world, many people spend prolonged hours sitting at desks, in front of screens, or on comfortable couches at home. This inactivity creates an imbalance between energy intake, calories consumed, and energy expenditure, calories burned. Our muscles act as a metabolic furnace, burning energy to fuel bodily functions. However, when we remain sedentary for extended periods, this furnace is effectively switched off, leaving excess calories unburned. These unutilized calories, primarily from carbohydrates and fats, are sent to the liver, where they are converted into triglycerides, a type of fat stored in the body for future energy needs. Over time, This process leads to an accumulation of triglycerides in the bloodstream, increasing the risk of heart disease and other health complications. The more time spent in a sedentary state, the more efficiently the body stores fat, resulting in a steady rise in triglyceride levels. Regular physical activity, on the other hand, activates the muscles, enhances fat metabolism, and helps clear triglycerides from the blood. Culprit 2. Overweight and obesity. Excess body weight, particularly obesity, is another major driver of elevated triglycerides. Being overweight often indicates an excessive accumulation of adipose tissue, body fat, which disrupts normal lipid metabolism. This is especially true for abdominal obesity, commonly referred to as a beer belly, where visceral fat surrounding internal organs, accumulates in significant amounts. Visceral fat is metabolically active and closely linked to the liver, which amplifies the production of triglycerides. The liver in individuals with abdominal obesity becomes particularly efficient at synthesizing triglycerides, as visceral fat releases fatty acids directly into the liver via the portal vein. This constant influx of fatty acids fuels triglyceride production, leading to higher circulating levels in the bloodstream. Additionally, obesity is often accompanied by insulin resistance, a condition that further exacerbates triglyceride synthesis by impairing the body's ability to regulate blood sugar and fat metabolism effectively. Culprit 3. Genetic predisposition and underlying diseases. For a smaller subset of individuals, genetics and underlying medical conditions play a significant role in elevated triglyceride levels. Certain genetic disorders, such as familial hypertriglyceridemia, impair the body's ability to metabolize lipids efficiently, leading to abnormally high triglyceride levels even in the absence of poor lifestyle habits. These genetic predispositions can cause the body to overproduce triglycerides or fail to clear them from the bloodstream effectively. Additionally, chronic conditions like type 2 diabetes, hypothyroidism, and kidney disease can disrupt lipid metabolism. In diabetes, for instance, insulin dysfunction hinders the body's ability to regulate blood sugar and fat storage, resulting in increased triglyceride production. Other conditions, such as metabolic syndrome, further compound the issue by combining obesity, high blood pressure, and insulin resistance, all of which contribute to elevated triglycerides. While genetics and diseases are less controllable than lifestyle factors, their impact can often be mitigated through targeted interventions. The root cause: lifestyle choices. In summary, the primary driver of high triglycerides for most people is lifestyle. Sedentary behavior, poor dietary habits, and excess body weight create a perfect storm for triglyceride accumulation. However, the good news is that lifestyle changes can also be the most powerful tool for reversing this trend. By addressing these root causes, we can significantly lower triglyceride levels and improve overall health. The game changer: resistant starch. Recent scientific research has uncovered a dietary component that acts as a natural adversary to high triglycerides: resistant starch. Unlike expensive medications or complex treatments, resistant starch is an accessible, affordable, and highly effective solution found in many everyday foods. By incorporating resistant starch into your diet, you can achieve remarkable reductions in triglyceride levels, potentially by up to 40%, without relying solely on pharmacological interventions. What is resistant starch? Resistant starch is a unique type of carbohydrate that resists digestion in the small intestine, passing through to the large intestine relatively intact. Unlike refined starches, found in white bread, white rice, and processed foods, which are rapidly broken down into glucose and absorbed into the bloodstream, resistant starch behaves more like dietary fiber. This stubborn starch is not easily digested, which gives it powerful metabolic benefits. You're likely already familiar with foods rich in resistant starch, including whole grains, brown rice, oats, barley, and quinoa, root vegetables, sweet potatoes, yams, and taro, legumes, beans, e.g., black beans, kidney beans, chickpeas, lentils, and peas. Unripe bananas. Bananas with slightly green skins contain higher levels of resistant starch than fully ripened ones. Corn. Whole corn or corn-based products like polenta. Interestingly, the resistant starch content of certain foods can be enhanced through simple preparation techniques. For example, cooking and then cooling rice, potatoes, or pasta increases their resistant starch content. This occurs because the cooling process causes the starch molecules to reorganize into a more resistant form, a phenomenon known as retrogradation. For instance, A bowl of cold potato salad or overnight oats contains significantly more resistant starch than when these foods are consumed hot. How resistant starch works its magic. The power of resistant starch lies in its unique behavior in the digestive system. To illustrate, consider the analogy of a fire. Refined starches are like dry newspaper, highly flammable and quick to burn. When consumed, they are rapidly broken down by digestive enzymes in the small intestine, releasing a surge of glucose into the bloodstream. This spike in blood sugar triggers insulin release, which can promote fat storage and triglyceride synthesis in the liver. Resistant starch, on the other hand, is like solid charcoal, slow-burning and steady. It resists digestion in the small intestine and travels to the large intestine, where it serves as a prebiotic, feeding the beneficial gut bacteria. In the large intestine, resistant starch is fermented by gut microbiota, producing short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, such as butyrate, acetate, and propionate. These SCFAs are superfoods for the cells lining the intestinal walls, promoting gut health and reducing inflammation. More importantly, SCFAs play a critical role in regulating metabolism by improving insulin sensitivity. SCFAs enhance the body's response to insulin, reducing blood sugar spikes that trigger triglyceride production. Signaling the liver, SCFAs send signals to the liver to slow down triglyceride synthesis and increase fat breakdown. Reducing inflammation. Chronic inflammation is a key contributor to metabolic dysfunction, and SCFAs help mitigate this by fostering a healthier gut environment. By avoiding rapid blood sugar spikes, resistant starch prevents the excess glucose that would otherwise be converted into triglycerides. Additionally, its fiber-like properties promote satiety, helping to control appetite and prevent overeating, a key factor in weight management and triglyceride control. The science behind the results. Clinical studies have demonstrated the remarkable efficacy of resistant starch in lowering triglycerides. In one study, participants who replaced refined grains, e.g., white rice and white flour, with resistant starch-rich foods, such as whole grains and legumes, saw their triglyceride levels drop by an average of 40% after just a few months. This reduction is comparable to the effects of some prescription medications used to treat severe hypertriglyceridemia, highlighting the power of dietary intervention. The mechanism is twofold. Blood sugar stabilization. By resisting digestion, resistant starch minimizes post-meal blood sugar spikes, reducing the raw materials, glucose, available for triglyceride synthesis. Gut health optimization. The SCFAs produced during fermentation improve insulin sensitivity and send regulatory signals to the liver, curbing excessive triglyceride production. These findings are particularly exciting because they offer a natural, sustainable, and side effect-free approach to managing high triglycerides, making it accessible to a wide range of individuals. Practical tips for incorporating resistant starch into your diet. Incorporating resistant starch into your daily meals is simple, cost-effective, and delicious. Here are actionable strategies to make it a seamless part of your lifestyle. Swap refined grains for whole grains. Breakfast. Start your day with a bowl of unsweetened oatmeal or overnight oats made with rolled oats. Oats are rich in beta-glucans, a type of resistant starch that also promotes heart health and satiety. Lunch or dinner. Replace white rice with brown rice, purple rice, or quinoa. For variety, try a 50-50 mix of white and brown rice when cooking to ease the transition. Side dishes. Opt for barley, farro, or whole grain pasta as nutrient-dense alternatives to refined grains. Incorporate root vegetables. Replace starchy sides like mashed potatoes, made from peeled, boiled potatoes, with roasted sweet potatoes, yams, or taro. These tubers are naturally rich in resistant starch and provide a satisfying, nutrient-packed alternative. For maximum benefit, cook and cool these vegetables before eating, e.g., in salads or as cold sides, to boost their resistant starch content. Embrace legumes. Add beans or lentils to soups, stews, salads, or grain bowls. For example, mix chickpeas into a Mediterranean salad or blend black beans into a hearty chili. Snack on roasted chickpeas or hummus for a protein and resistant starch-packed option. Try mung bean soup or red bean porridge as nutrient-dense, comforting dishes. Choose unripe bananas. Opt for slightly green bananas as a snack or smoothie ingredient. These are higher in resistant starch than fully ripened yellow bananas, which convert much of their starch to sugar as they ripen. Pair a green banana with a handful of nuts for a balanced, portable snack. Experiment with cooling techniques. Prepare a batch of rice, potatoes, or pasta and let it cool in the refrigerator overnight before reheating or eating cold. This increases resistant starch content and enhances the metabolic benefits. Examples include cold rice salads, potato salad with vinaigrette, or chilled pasta primavera. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Beyond resistant starch, a holistic approach to triglyceride control. While resistant starch is a powerful tool, combining it with other evidence-based dietary and lifestyle habits can amplify its effects and create a comprehensive strategy for managing triglycerides. Here are additional recommendations. Increase omega-3 fatty acids. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, and anchovies, are potent allies in reducing triglyceride levels. These healthy fats directly inhibit the liver's production of triglycerides and have anti-inflammatory properties that promote vascular health. Aim to include fatty fish in your diet 2 to 3 times per week. For plant-based sources, consider flax seeds, chia seeds, or walnuts, though they are less potent than fish. If dietary intake is insufficient, consult a healthcare provider about omega-3 supplements, e.g., fish oil or algae-based DHA/EPA. Make vegetables the star of your plate. Fill at least half of your plate with colorful, non-starchy vegetables like broccoli, spinach, kale, carrots, bell peppers, and zucchini. These are rich in dietary fiber, which acts like a sponge in the gut, binding excess sugars and fats to prevent their absorption. Fiber also slows digestion, promoting stable blood sugar levels and reducing the likelihood of triglyceride synthesis. Incorporate healthy fats in moderation. A small handful, about 1 ounce, of unsalted nuts, such as almonds, walnuts, or pistachios, provides heart-healthy monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats. These fats support cardiovascular health but are calorie-dense, so portion control is key. Other sources of healthy fats include avocados and extra virgin olive oil, which can be used in cooking or as salad dressings. Minimize sugar and alcohol. Excess sugar and alcohol are major contributors to elevated triglycerides. Sugary drinks, desserts, and processed snacks cause rapid blood sugar spikes, while alcohol, especially in excess, stimulates the liver to produce more triglycerides. Replace sugary beverages with water, herbal tea, or unsweetened sparkling water. Limit alcohol to no more than 1 drink per day for women or 2 for men, and avoid binge drinking. Prioritize regular exercise. Physical activity is one of the most effective ways to lower triglycerides directly. Moderate intensity exercises like brisk walking, jogging, cycling, or swimming for at least 30 minutes, 5 days a week, can significantly reduce circulating triglycerides by enhancing fat metabolism. Strength training, such as bodyweight exercises or weightlifting, also improves insulin sensitivity and supports weight management, further aiding triglyceride control. Maintain a healthy weight. Excess body fat, particularly around the waist, exacerbates triglyceride levels. Aim to keep your waist circumference below 35 inches for men and 31 inches for women to reduce visceral fat and its metabolic consequences. Even modest weight loss, 5 to 10% of body weight, can lead to significant reductions in triglycerides and improvements in overall metabolic health. Manage stress and sleep. Chronic stress and poor sleep can indirectly raise triglycerides by increasing cortisol and disrupting insulin regulation. Practice stress reduction techniques like mindfulness, meditation, or yoga, and aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night. A note on medical management. For individuals with severely elevated triglycerides, e.g., above 500 milligrams per deciliter, lifestyle changes alone may not be sufficient to reduce levels to a safe range. In such cases, medical intervention is critical. Medications like statins, fibrates, or omega-3 prescriptions may be necessary to lower triglycerides and prevent complications like pancreatitis or cardiovascular events. Always consult a healthcare provider to develop a personalized plan, and never discontinue prescribed medications without professional guidance. Lifestyle changes and medications work synergistically to optimize outcomes. The path forward. Small changes, big impact. The beauty of tackling high triglycerides lies in the power of small, consistent choices. Replacing white rice with brown rice, choosing a green banana over a candy bar, or taking a brisk walk after dinner may seem minor, but these habits compound over time to deliver profound health benefits. Resistant starch, with its ability to stabilize blood sugar, nourish gut health, and curb triglyceride production, is a cornerstone of this approach. By embracing resistant starch-rich foods, prioritizing whole foods, and adopting an active lifestyle, you can take control of your triglyceride levels and pave the way for a healthier, more vibrant life. As Dr. Ramirez emphasizes, protecting your blood lipid health doesn't require drastic measures, just the commitment to make better choices, day after day. That's a wrap on our deep dive into the silent villain, triglycerides, and how you can take control of your health with simple, science-backed strategies like incorporating resistant starch into your diet. So, what have you learned today? Maybe it's the surprising power of brown rice and beans, the dangers of excess sugar, or how a daily walk can transform your blood lipid health. We'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below this video and share one key takeaway you're ready to put into practice in your life. If you found this video helpful, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more health insights to help you live your best life.